Hey guys, so a lot of you guys have been asking me for dating advice recently, for relationship advice, and though I don't see myself as being the first and foremost on those things, I figured I would let you guys know a little bit some of my tips and tricks when it comes to dating, though I don't always follow them myself, and my love life is kind of tragic. As you can see, I'm single. Follow my advice for me, and so then I can follow your example. So help me, help you, help me. Help you, help me. Also, a lot of you guys have wanted me to use my southern accent a little more, so I figured I'd kill two birds in one stone, talk about dating and a southern accent, put them together. What do we have? Happy viewers. We just have happy little viewers, don't we? So right off the bat, how you message a guy. So a lot of times, gay relationships, in my experience, in my opinion, start off with social media, some kind of platform. And it could be Grindr, Snapchat, Tinder, Twitter, Instagram, one of those things. But what platform you use kind of sets the tone for the message that you're going to be sending somebody, right? So if you message somebody on Grindr, it comes across very different than if you were to do it on Instagram. Grindr seems more like hookup-y. Instagram, in my opinion, is way more social. So it kind of goes down the list. In my opinion, Grindr is very hookup-y. Tinder can be kind of hookup-y depending on if you stay on that platform or if you try and move to other social media. Snapchat can go good, but it is a platform for sending pictures. And then Instagram, in my opinion, is probably the best one if you can get a hold of somebody's Instagram to message them. Because you can look at their feed, you can see the stuff that they post, the stuff that their friends kind of post about them. Their kind of personality can kind of be revealed through their Instagram, whether they post a lot, whether they post a little. In my opinion, that says a lot about them, like whether they actually like to do social media or they don't really care for social media. In my opinion, someone's Instagram says a whole lot about them, and it can just kind of be the cleanest way of messaging somebody because you can just kind of send them like a, whatever. That rolls right into my second piece of advice. When you are DMing somebody, do not just say, hey, bitch, we don't know you. Hey, that's it? That's all you got is hey? What? Try to be a little more involved with your conversation. I will say that, like, WYD, what you up to? How's your day been? What have you been doing all day? Boo, 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 boo. We all know those classic shitty conversation starters, and they typically don't go somewhere. Try and have some personality. Try and start a conversation. You can ask them one of those cringy questions at the beginning, but try to steer clear of them because it kills conversation. Also, if you are DMing somebody on a social media platform, it's hard to do with a private profile because in order for someone to see your feed, in order for someone to see what you're about, if you have private, all they can see is this one picture, or if it's like Snapchat, your Bitmoji. They can see this one thing about you. So if you do have a private profile, then it is kind of important to send that first message as more than just a little word or a single line, because then someone doesn't know what you look like, they don't know what you're all about, they don't know what you're DMing them for in the first place. Like, there's so many questions that come with, like, what is this message supposed to be about? So like I said, keeping up that conversation is very important, and later on down the road, it's going to be very important. Communication is everything. If I'm like talking to a dude and he sends me like a one-line response 7 different times, I just stop texting back because it appears that he is not interested in the conversation at all. So be involved in your conversations, try and like talk to each other without going into those cringy, like, what you do, and like that's not how you start. That's not how you keep talking to someone. That's filler talk. That's what you talk to someone in the break room at work. And of course, gay relationships tend to be long distance, again, from my experience. They can be close, and if you are not a long distance person, that's totally cool. But if you do end up in a long distance situation, like I said, that communication is extremely key. It is very important to communicate your feelings, to communicate what you're thinking, all that kind of stuff, because you can't see each other. You can't be there in person. FaceTime is a great resolution. FaceTime fixes that problem to some degree. Phone calls can be great, Snapchatting can be great and all, but FaceTime can really fix that problem because you can kind of like see the person, you can kind of be somewhat in their presence. Finding what form of communication works really well for you and just communicating with each other can be very, very important. And of course, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is the first date. So on the first date, try and do something fun, different. Dinner and a movie can be great and all, but at the same time, like, if you do something more interesting, something that you both want to do, something that's fun, it's more memorable. It kind of leaves that impression. You need something where you can communicate, where you can get to know each other, where you can have fun and play and just kind of be wacky and, do your thing and kind of show your personality to someone. That's like, I love bouldering, I love bowling, I love like all kind, like hiking, like stuff like that. Like, and if that's not your cup of tea, that's cool, but there's tons of stuff that you can do to where you just, can get to know somebody a lot better through that physicality, through that being in their presence, as opposed to just sitting somewhere being quiet. And of course, conversation can be great too over dinner or whatever. So dinner's never a bad idea for like a first date, just kind of getting to know somebody's personality. But when dinner is over, when whatever it is over, what do we not do? We don't go home with them. A lot of times, like, it can be kind of expected from some guys to have sex on the first date, but I'm going to tell you not to do it. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'm shitty at following my own advice, so I'm telling you now, don't do it. If you have sex with somebody early on in the relationship or on that first date, then in my opinion, they expect it. They want it. You should be having sex with them after each date. You should be having sex with them when they see you, and that is not okay. No bueno, not good. I personally don't think relationships should be based around sex. I've said that many times in the past. When you go on this first date, give them a hug, say goodbye, and then leave. Do not go back to his place, even if things have been going really well. If you want to continue a conversation, go to a local park where there is no chance of your clothes coming off. A lot of times guys are looking for sex in a relationship at some point. I'm not saying all guys want it right off the bat, but a lot of guys are looking for it eventually. And if you don't have sex with them on that first date, that will leave them wanting something more in the future. You've got to keep them interested, give them longer to get to know you, because some guys will have sex with you and be like, no, that wasn't the best sex in my life. And so then they'll go off and they'll just kind of disappear. Yeah, so there's some quick tips and tricks when it comes to dating that I have from my experience. Like I said, I'm not the most reputable source, obviously. Here I am, single as can be. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, Curtis comes out next Monday, October 15th. I'm super excited. The premiere was super fun. I'm gonna make a video talking about the premiere and stuff, and a little bit more about Curtis in a couple days to kind of let you guys know a little more. But my dumbass forgot to say this earlier, but drop some questions down below because I want to do a Q&A video for my next one. So yeah, drop some questions down there. Yeah, so Curtis does come out. It'll be on YouTube. I will be having the link out to you guys on that day. As soon as it goes up, I will be posting about it. It will be everywhere, and you will not hear me stop talking about it. And I really, really am excited for you guys to see it. I'm super excited for y'all to see it. That's all I've got for now. Stay happy, stay humble, and I will see you guys later.